Good morning, students. Now we'll continue economics lesson 2, globalization and trade. In the last class, we discussed about the term globalization, history of globalization, trade and traders of early Indian historical perspective. Now you try to recall your memory and find answer for the questions. Who introduced the term globalization? Professor Theodore Levitt. What are the three stages of globalization? Archaic globalization, proto globalization, and modern globalization. Which is the first multinational company in India? British East India Company in 1600. Who landed first in India and when? A Portuguese sailor Vasco da Gama in 1498. Who established Dutch East India Company? Admiral van der Hagen. Now we'll move on into the next concept about globalization in India, reforms made to adapt globalization, and all about our multinational corporations. First one, globalization in India. When the new government took over in June 1991, India had unprecedented balance of payment crisis, that is unfavorable balance of payment in our international trade. This is due to hike in oil prices and Gulf War in 1990 and 91 in West Asia. That is in Iran and Iraq we have a Gulf War. So India lauds its credit worthiness in the international market. Under these circumstances, government for 91-92 presented its budget in July 91 with a series of policy changes which underlined globalization, liberalization and privatization. That is our new economic policy. Liberalization, privatization and globalization. These policies were strengthened when India signed the Dunkeld Draft in 1994. That is Dunkeld Draft. It is a common agreement of trade between the world countries. So by making an agreement with the world countries, we encourage globalization. That is, we are liberalize the trade practices and encouraging private people to invest in India. In that way, we started globalization in India. To follow globalization, the government of India made certain reforms. Under that, reforms made to adopt globalization. First one, abolition of industrial licensing. You know it, while we are starting any business, we want to get license. But under our new economic policy, the industrial licensing is completely abolished. That means removed. Reduction in number of industries reserved for public sector. That is, we are encouraging private sector to contribute to our economy. Third one, fixation of realistic exchange rate of rupee to exchange exports of Indian goods. Regarding this exchange rate, the world countries agreed to follow US dollar as a standard value for our currency. So we are following US dollar for our export purpose. The next one, foreign private sector by making rupee convertible on trade, that is on current account, and by reducing import duties. So we can use a foreign currency for converting our Indian rupee. Then foreign exchange regulations were suitably amended. Amended means that is added. That is, we made FERA, that is Foreign Exchange Regulation Act, to follow the foreign trade between the world countries. The last one, the statutory liquidity ratio was reduced to increase lending by Reserve Bank of India. RBI means Reserve Bank of India. The statutory liquidity ratio, that is SLR, that means it is the government term For the reserve requirement that commercial banks are required to maintain in the form of cash, gold reserves. So commercial banks means other banks like our State Bank, Indian Overseas Bank, they want to maintain certain amount of cash and gold reserves. Then only RBI can approve securities before providing credits to the customers. But this SLR ratio is also reduced nowadays so that commercial banks can lend loan to the customers at earliest convenience. So easily people can get loan from all commercial banks. So these are the reforms we made to encourage globalization in India. Now we'll move into the next concept, multinational corporation, MNC. That is, during the British rule, the East India Company, that is the first multinational corporation of India, that is a foreign company, they started trade with India and they were the rulers, so they dominated both politically and economically over our country. After our independence, we also made trade agreement with foreign countries regarding our exports and imports. But later, the introduction of new economic policy in 1991, we encouraged the foreign countries to start their industries in India. So many foreign companies, they invested in India. In that way, we originated multinational corporations in India. So now we'll talk about what is multinational corporation. So these are it is a corporate organization, corporate, that is, which is a big organization which owns or controls production of goods or services in at least one country other than its home country. It is not only in one country, in many countries. For example, consider USA. USA can start a company in more than 5 to 10 countries throughout the globe. That's the meaning of multinational corporation. Most of the MNCs, that is multinational corporations, at present belong to the four major exporting countries like USA, UK, United Kingdom, France and Germany. However, the largest one is America. Always America is the leading economy in the world. A growth of MNC in India. A common form of MNC participation in Indian industry is through entering into cooperation with Indian industrialists. That is, many Indian industries, they made cooperation and collaborative work with the foreign companies in the early days. This should be clear from the fact that of the total of 12,716 foreign collaborative agreements signed between 1948 and 1988. That is, after our independence, we made many collaborative agreements. So, collaboration means technical collaboration. For example, Hero Honda Company, Maruti Suzuki Company. Maruti is India, Suzuki is Japan. Like that, we made many collaborative works. Even though we made collaborative work, after the Gulf War, the total economy was collapsed in India. Not only in India, many underdeveloped countries, they face critical situation. To overcome this, the government of India in 1991 introduced the new economic policy. Under this new economic policy, we encouraged the foreign countries to enter into India. Now we'll move into what are the reasons for the sudden growth of MNCs in India. First one, expansion of market territory. That is, the market is wider in India. As the operation of large-sized firm expand, it seeks more and more extension of its activities beyond the physical boundaries of the country in which it is incorporated. So, this market territory, that is the world countries, if they want to extend their territory, they will approach these kind of underdeveloped countries or developing countries, and in that way they extend, and we are also encouraging them to invest in India. marketing superiorities. That is, a multinational firm enjoys a number of marketing superiorities over national firm. So you know it, that is, people are very eager to use foreign products. So this will encouraging superiority. We are believing foreign products are superior, so people are willing to buy this kind of foreign goods. Because of that, it enjoyed market reputation and faces less difficulty in selling its product, and it adopt more effective advertising and sales promotion techniques. So through advertisement and sales promotion, they are occupying our market. Think about our mobile phone. People are willing to use Samsung, Apple iPhone. These are only the foreign products. Financial superiorities, that is, the MNCs has financial resources and high level of fund utilization. Basically, the MNCs, that host countries, the owner countries, are very rich countries, are very highly developed economy, so they have plenty of resources with them, so it is easier for them to enter into the capital market. Because of its international reputation, it is able to raise more international resources. So generally they are very rich, and they are starting an industry in other country, and they are mobilizing their resources. Then technological superiorities. The main reason why MNCs have been encouraged by the underdeveloped countries to participate in their industrial development is on the account of technical superiorities which these firms possess as compared to national companies. Basically, you know it, developing countries, they lack with technology. So we need a superior technology. So this MNCs, they have plenty of resources, plenty of techniques along with them. So they are supporting their technology and they are occupying our market. Then fifth one, product innovation. So innovation, making a new thing. MNCs have research and development engaged in the task of developing new products and superior designs of existing products. So even though comparing our Indian products and foreign products are very innovative, and that will attract the customers. So these are the reason why there is a sudden growth of multinational corporations in India. So in our book they are giving top 10 largest multinational companies in India as per 2018. Sony Corporation, Hewlett Packard, that is HP, then Tata Group, Microsoft Corporation, IBM. So these are then Nettle, Procter and Gamble, Citigroup, Pepsi Company, the Coca-Cola Company. So these are some of the largest multinational companies in India. Not only this alone, same way India is also has multinational corporations. So from India we are developing our companies in some other countries also. Like that, now look into the table and go through. Hero Motocorp, that is headquarters in New Delhi. Type of industry, automobile industry. We have our companies in Colombia, Bangladesh and Africa. Then Bajaj, headquarters in Pune. This is also an automobile. Then United Arab Emirates, UAE and Bangladesh. TVS, headquarters Chennai, automobile industry. We have companies in Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Mexico and Peru. State Bank of India, headquarters at Mumbai. And type of system, banking, Australia, Bangladesh, Belgium. That is, these kind of banks are available in these countries also. Then Bharti Airtel, New Delhi, comes under a communication industry. You can see it in most of South Asia and Africa. So these are about our Indian companies where we have multinational corporation in other countries. I hope you understood about our multinational corporation. In India, there is a widespread MNCs that occupied our Indian market as well as the consumers. It has some advantages as well as disadvantages over our economy. Now we'll move into what are the advantages of MNC. First one, producing the same quality of goods at lower cost and without any transaction cost. That is, the cost of production is lower by our MNC. Second one, MNC reduces prices because the cost is lower. Automatically they will fix low prices for the products and increase the purchasing power of consumers worldwide. So this the tendency of the consumers. When the price is very less, people will demand more. That is the demand theory. The MNC will make products at lesser prices. MNC is able to take advantage of tax variation. After the new economic policy, we are following liberalization. So we liberalized many trade practices. So tax evasion is there for MNCs. The last one, spurring job growth in the local economies. That is spurring, that means sudden growth of foreign companies in India, which is generating more employment opportunities to the local people in our country. Now you think about IT industry, all the IT industries comes under our MNC and they are creating more employment opportunities, and our youngsters are also very crazed to work under our MNCs. These are the advantages of our MNC. Now we'll move into the disadvantages of MNC. First one, there are a way for the corporations to develop a monopoly. Monopoly, that is single trade, that's a meaning. Because the foreign companies, they are dominating our Indian companies and they are only developing their business and they are suppressing our Indian business. That's the meaning of monopoly, single trade. Second one, they are also detrimental effect on the environment. Detrimental because under this foreign collaboration many industries are started in and around our India, both in cities as well as in rural areas, and that causes detrimental, that is harmful effect on our environment. Either it may be a noise pollution, water pollution, air pollution, like that. Then the introduction of MNC into a host country's economy may also lead to the downfall of smaller and local business. If people are very interested in the foreign products, no one is buying the Indian make products. For example, think about any electrical objects. See, people are very crazed to buy foreign mobiles, whereas we are omitting our Indian. Think about our automobile. Think Ambassador car is a Indian made, pure Indian made, but no one is willing to buy Ambassador cars. These are the disadvantages. Then last one, MNC breach ethical standard, accusing them of evading ethical laws and leveraging their business agenda with capital. So ethical values, because Indian culture is a standard culture in the world, but MNC, they are making the products ignoring all the ethical values of Indians and their customs, because they have plenty of capital with them and they have their own business agenda, business principle, and they are spoiling our Indian culture also. These are about the disadvantages of MNC. So far we talk about our multinational corporation, reasons and the advantages and disadvantages of MNC. So I hope you understood this one. In the next class we'll talk about the remaining concept. Students, you try to get new books. In social, last year we got two books. Now they are giving only single book. Many things were edited in this book. So if you buy a new book, it is easy for you to follow properly. Try to get as early as possible. Dear students, now I would like to give a simple analysis. Now try to analyze your household articles under Indian made and foreign made. That is, you analyze your all electrical and electronic objects of your own house. Then analyze which is good for your house and which is good for our country. And compare and contrast, that is, you make a difference between Indian and foreign products in your house. Write 10 points on both the column. Okay, you try to write it. In the next class we'll continue. Thank you, ma.